Hey guys, Cal here, and today I'm standing here with the 2024 Nissan Frontier, the S King Cab trim model, and it is being regarded as one of the least expensive midsize trucks on the market right now, and that is true with the base price of the two-wheel drive starting at only $29,770 and the base price of the four-wheel drive starting at only $32,970. So let's see, is this thing worth it? Why is it so inexpensive? And what are some of the standard features on this thing? What do I like about it? What do I not like about it? Let's check it out right now. So guys, we're going to start off by taking a look at the front end of the S King Cab here. Now, being one of the base model variations, it's going to be pretty plain up here, but it has the halogen headlights. It's got the halogen turn signals. Obviously, down below in that slot, it is just a black piece of plastic down there. There is no fog light in that little section. It also has that black front grille, as most work trucks do, with that new updated Nissan logo right in the center of the grille. And one thing I wanted to point out that I just noticed on the front here is the S variation of the Frontier is so base model and so work truck spec that they don't even give you two tow hooks. You only have one tow hook on the passenger side of the truck. All right, guys, now taking a look at the wheels on the S King Cab here, we do have the 16-inch steel wheel surrounded by these are the DynaPro HTs, hand cooks to be specific, and that tire size is a 265/70/16 on these, all four tires. And then on your mirrors, these are your just black standard sort of work truck mirrors. I noticed I did not see any switches inside to power adjust these from the inside. So I don't know if these things are just manual. You have to manually adjust them, which is weird because it does have blind spot alert, which I thought was a little weird. Another thing I really like about the Frontier specifically in this truck market is that it's one of the few pickup trucks that still offers this extended cab setup. Of course, in this, it is called the King Cab, but it's really nice to see that extended cab setup still being offered in a mid-sized truck right now. Of course, being the work truck, you got those black door handles and that black window surround right in the middle. And then there's no real fancy stickers or anything else going on back here. There's no 4x4 sticker on the bedside or anything else really going on. But I really do like that Nissan does not make you go inside to open your fuel door. You can open it right from the outside just like that. So now we've made it to the back of the Frontier S King Cab here, and we're taking a look at the bed. I do really like the taillights that Nissan is putting on these. I mean, considering this is sort of a work truck spec, I really like these taillights. It's got those LED turn signals, those LED running lights back here. Really like that, gives it a little bit of a sharper look in the rear end here. And then of course we will open up your tailgate and you will see, of course it's a dampened tailgate, falls nice and soft. We do have a spray-in bed liner in here from factory. Now that is a $700 option. That is the S Utility package. It gives you the spray-in bed liner from factory, which is a very high quality look in here, like most factory spray-in liners are. And that includes the spray-in bed liner, 120 volt power outlet in the bed, and a 120 volt power outlet in the cab as well on the backside of the center console. And one thing that's nice about the Frontier is that it does have the best-in-class base engine option. It offers a 3.8 liter V6 that puts out 310 horsepower and 281 pound-foot of torque. So to my knowledge, it's a brand new motor for the 2020 model year, so we don't really know what long-term reliability is going to be like, but Gone with the Wind is the 4-liter V6 that used to be in the Frontier. So we're moving on to that 3.8 liter V6. And then just a quick look at the fuel economy numbers on the 3.8 liter V6 that's in the Frontier here. It does score about 18 miles to the gallon in the city and 23 miles to the gallon on the highway, about 20 miles to the gallon combined, which really for a big sort of old school design, naturally aspirated V6 like this, I really don't think that those fuel economy numbers are that bad at all. All right, guys, so to open up the little King Cab back door, you're just going to grab this handle right here, open that out towards yourself, and it opens up like that. Notice it's not a suicide door, kind of like the Silverado doors were back in the day when they had their normal extended cab doors. So does not fold all the way out, just stays right there. Got a little pocket to toss your car wash rags or whatever else you want to toss back here. You got that little door pocket there. Does have a little seat right here that folds up just like that. It's really interesting to see a back seat like this. It sort of reminds me of the Chevy S10 back in the day back here. So that does fold up and away. And then this little bin down here, there's two little screws at the bottom. I could take that right out and have just an entire floor to toss my stuff in if you're using this for, like, say, a work truck. And then if I put the seat down, I did have to move the front seat forward just a little bit for me to actually be able to climb in the back of this thing. But just for illustration purposes here, to show you how small the back seat is. This is even after I've already moved the front seat forward a couple inches. It is still this tight back here, and this back window does not open, so you won't see me, but I'm gonna try to shut myself in here. We're gonna see if it works. Okay, so I'm just smashing my knee. It's not working. The back seat's very tight, probably good for kids or incredibly short adults here. So not much room in the back seat here of the King Cab. All right, guys, so here we are in the driver's seat of the S King Cab Frontier here, and it does have just your pretty basic door panel. You got some nice hard plastics over here and some vinyl, things like that. Got your black door handle, your window switches, your lock and unlock. And like I said on the outside earlier, I do not think it has power adjusting mirrors. I do think you have to adjust your side mirrors manually. And then down below, we do have a little button that will kind of turn on or power on your little power outlet behind the center console here and the power outlet that is in the bed outside. There is also a hill descent control button down here, a button to turn on your cargo lamp for the bed. And then you have the traction control off down there. And I do really like the steering wheel that is in the Nissan Frontier here. It's a really high-end vinyl, if you can call any kind of vinyl high-end, but it's got a very nice feel to it in the hand. I like the 10-2 grips. I like the 9-3 grips. Really, really nice on this wheel. It feels really comfy in the hand. And then on the left side of the wheel, you do have your button to switch through your sources on the radio, so to get to your Bluetooth music, your Sirius. You also have a button to switch through your favorites on the radio right there below that. You have a button to go through your driver information center that is just ahead of you right below that. Your volume buttons, and then you have your Siri buttons for your phone call. And then on the right side of the steering wheel, you do have, it is pretty much all of your cruise control controls only. And then on this one, since this does have the $990 safety package or tech package, whatever it's called on the window sticker, that $990 package does give you the adaptive cruise control. Two more things I wanted to mention that I like about the driver's seat here is that not only do I love this steering wheel, but the feel of the steering in this truck too, because it seems like a lot of the manufacturers are going to that electric power steering nowadays. So it's really nice to see a manufacturer, Nissan, still sticking with the hydraulic steering, because it really does just give you that big, solid, truck feel, like you're really turning the steering wheel. You really know what you're doing. And then I also really like these gauges up front, because not only do they have that old school kind of 2000s look between the tachometer over here and the speedometer on the right side, it's just got that nice old school look, but you got the little touch of that digital right in the middle, and you have your digital speedometer and all that stuff right in the center. So I really like the look of that, and it just gives you this old school truck feel. It just feels so solid in the driver's seat here. And I really like the four-wheel drive switch that they give us down here, because it really does look like something you would see in like an old school Nissan Frontier or like a Nissan Xterra. It just looks so old school and so classic for the two-wheel drive, the 4-high and the 4-low switch down here. I just love the way they make that look. All right, so now we're gonna cover our center stack, guys, and we're gonna go over the radio. So this right here is an 8-inch color touch display. I believe this was introduced for the 2022 refresh, if I'm not mistaken. So here it is in all its glory. Like I said, it's an 8-inch color display. It offers your Android Auto and your Apple CarPlay. If you don't have those hooked up, once you hit your phone button right on the left side, you will see you have your quick dial, phone book, call history. You can look at your text messages on here. You have all that good stuff right in the phone menu. To the right of that, as your second option, you have the audio menu. This gives you your Sirius XM, your AM, your FM, all on that option there, as well as your Bluetooth music. And then if we go back to that home screen, you can manage all your connections from this screen here. You can, go look at the info. You can go into your settings, all that good stuff right there. vehicle settings for the sound, all the tuning on the radio. So you got everything you need on here and really nothing you don't, which is what I really like about this system. And another thing I like about this seems to be a problem in the Japanese car market with the radio technology, is that their systems never seem to be that good to the touch. I know a lot of the Honda systems there's always seems to be a delay after you click something. This is something I really like in the Frontier, because it seems like as soon as you click something, it responds to your finger and it goes. There's no delay. There's no waiting for something to happen. When you hit it, not only does it respond, there's no lag, but it just goes right to where you want it to go. All right, guys, and now here we are at the home screen of the radio, and we're going to take a look at the fact that it does have your physical volume buttons as well as your physical seek buttons right over there. They have all your physical buttons for your shortcuts as well right here for your phone, your home screen, your audio, all right there. Like I said, it's a very easy system to use. It's very responsive. And then down below, you do have that auto stop start button to turn it off if you're not a fan. Thank you for that, Nissan. And then I will say, when I do slap this thing into reverse, the graphics on the backup camera are a little 2012 looking, should I say. They are a little old school looking. Anyway, we're gonna move down to those climate controls down below. Very simple and easy to use because this is the S King Cab. It's just the S model, so there's really not too much to look at. You just got your hot, your cold, your fan speed right on the left side, and then you have all your adjustments right down there. Got a little 12-volt plug to the right side of that, and then down below you do have the option again to turn off your parking sensors. And then you have your USB Type A and Type C down below. All right, so last couple things I wanted to mention up in the front seat here is the center stack. You do have lots of nice little trays. You have one up front, right under those charge ports up front. You got a nice little tray here behind your cup holders to toss your phone. And then you do have a tray right up top to toss your phone or any other things you want to throw up there. So they got lots of nice little spots just to toss your stuff real quick. Open up your center console and you will see a pretty deep console. I mean, I'm almost able to get my whole forearm in there. So pretty good, pretty fair sized console in here. And they got a little slots here to put your pens and things for work. So they really have work in mind with this truck. So I do like that. It is a nice space to be up here. I will say, being 6'2", I wish that the seat went back a little bit further. I don't know, maybe it does in the crew cab. It goes back a little further. I wish I had a little bit more leg space to stretch out. But I will say seat comfort itself with these cloth seats is good. I do feel comfortable in here. My lower back is not aching. I do think it's a pretty comfortable seat up here. So I really love all the little touches. I mean, for this being a work truck spec, it really is a nice place to be. I mean, you got the padded vinyl here on the little center console. Everything up here is nice and quality feeling. Like nothing feels chintzy in here, if you will. All right, guys, and going over some of the things on the roof before we head out on the road here, you do have your little switch for your lights in the front and in the back as well. Very old school looking lighting up here. And then I did open the sun visor and I saw there is no mirror under your sun visor. So if you are a contractor who is looking to check yourself out before you head on the job site, you will not be able to do so in the Frontier here. Okay, guys, so here we are in the driver's seat of the Nissan Frontier here. So this is the 3.8 liter V6, putting out 310 horsepower and 281 pound-foot of torque, I believe. And that is mated to a 9-speed transmission. So pretty old school setup here. I really like that. I really prefer it. But it did just turn 55 here, so we're going to see what the 9-speed and the 3.8 liter V6 do together. So we're going to give it the beans real quick. Okay. And you get up to 55 just like that. So it really does pick up speed quick. 9-speed is snappy, downshifts right to the gear you need it to. There's no screwing around, there's no jolting, there's no jumping in the transmission, so really smooth downshift. I apologize for the bumps in the video. Another thing I'll mention is that the suspension on this truck, it is rough. It is a rough suspension. I mean, for being a mid-sized truck, you do get a lot of bumps in here. I probably get an equal amount of bumps in my Silverado 1500. So I would say that they can tune this chassis up a little bit more. But I really do love the driving dynamics in this. Like I said, that V6 has got great power. I will say that this transmission is smoother than something I felt in, say, like a Chevy Colorado The 9-speed works great with this 3.8 liter V6. Like I said earlier, it does have that hydraulic steering in here. So I love having that in a truck because, you know, when you're in a truck, you want it to feel like a truck. You want it to feel tough. So when you have that hydraulic steering, you know, it's just that old school feel that really gives it that, that tough truck feel. All right, guys, thank you for watching my review of the 2024 Nissan Frontier here. I really did think this was a great truck. I love the old school driving dynamics, and I think it's got a great little radio system in it for what it is. And one last thing, I did want to thank Bob Johnson Nissan in Henrietta for letting me use this particular Frontier here. They do have a few other available, so if you guys are interested, I will have all their info in the description down below. So if you guys did enjoy this review, please subscribe to the channel now to see future reviews just like this one. Please leave a like on the video and comment below what you think of the Frontier. Do you also think this is a good value in the current market that we're in? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video.